boyfriend is broke. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lajirin, and here I talk about love, life, and faith. And today's topic is a very strong topic. Hey, Jesus Christ. But before I tell you about the topic, I have information for you. Do you know that you can subscribe to my channel free of charge, like absolutely free, like nobody's going to charge you, and you'll learn more and more from my past videos and new videos I'm sharing every single week. Okay, like today's topic now. What do you do when you are in love with a broke boyfriend? What do you do? Or you are considering somebody, all the boxes are ticked, but he doesn't have money. I know we should also talk about women having money, but this particular one is about girls who are considering dating broke guys or are dating broke guys. So all the best as you continue to watch this video. So I'll do a little backstory. So when I met my husband, then he was just really starting out in life. He was still a student at that time. We started our relationship a few months after graduation, and we didn't really have much to our name. In fact, I think we saved for like 2.5 years to pay our first house rent. We were engaged for like 2 years. We got engaged in 2012 during NYSC, and we got married in 2014. End of 2014, about 2.5 years later, we were saving so we could pay our first house rent, 350k. We saved for 1 year, and in the first year I think we saved maybe 100,000. So of course that was not enough, and by God's grace we were able to put that into the ministry and just continue to save again. And I would say that, so it's been 10 years married now, or almost 10 years this year, and God has really blessed us, like really blessed us in every single way, right? So I'm the kind of person that would teach you to build with a guy, but I think that not everybody has had that experience. You are not just building with just any guy, right? So I guess I'll just share some thoughts with you, and you can take what's yours and leave what's not yours. I know that not everybody would be in the same situation as I was, and not everybody is my husband. My husband is a very rare breed anyway. So anyway, what do you do when you're in love with a broke boyfriend? I think I'll start from there. So this is where I'll start from. I think we must start from a mindset thing. You guys are aware of that trending video where somebody was like, if a guy should give me 20 million, he can't do anything to me. And I'm like, hey, you see, you have to realize that if money is the standard for you, and I'm not saying you must date a broke guy to prove that you are responsible or you have vision, but if money is the standard for you and money is the only standard, I want to assure you that it doesn't matter how much your price is, you're very, very broke, you're very, very poor. You must learn to value yourself more than you value money. Alright, so if money defines you, it doesn't matter how much it is that defines you, you're really poor. You must make sure that you're defining yourself based on actual values beyond money, okay? And then you have to also understand the way life works. A friend of mine was saying a short while ago that if you're 21 and you're dating a guy who's 21 or 22, it's unlikely that he's already made at that time. And this is the reason why I think a lot of people might find married men attractive or older men attractive, because this person has worked for a while, they become established, sometimes maybe even with the help of their spouse, and it's very easy to just look at all the things they've accomplished in their life and be like, I want somebody that is already made like this. But the thing is, when their wife met them, they were not like that. Now that they're attracted to you, it's a beautiful thing, but when the person who had the vision of this person can really be something met them, they weren't like that. Or even if it's somebody who is single and who is older, there is every tendency that this person was not like that years ago. So we must understand the way life works. If you're 21, you're dating a guy who's also 21 or 22 or 23 or even 25, there's a large tendency that he's still trying to figure out his life out. He's still trying to figure it out. And so we must go with that understanding. I was watching a film where this lady was dating a broke guy. In fact, she called herself the chairman of the association of affordable boyfriends. So this is a broke guy, and the guy was like, I'm trying my best, I'm working so hard. And then she was like, can't you do Yahoo? And that's when we know there's a problem. When you would rather someone displease God, hurt society, commit a crime just so they can give you money for hair or money for car, or just so they can give you money to sharp flex and enjoy life. It's me. See, some of us, this full video is not even for you. Some of us, what you really need is to go back and get some value for yourself and some value for your life. What some of us really need is to leave relationship first and build yourself and focus on your mindset. Why am I here? What do I want out of life? How can I build myself to the point where I'm a quality person and I'm not just defined by stuff? Some of you need to find yourself, because if you don't find yourself, even that broke boyfriend is too rich for you. Some of us need to go back and ask ourselves and ask the Lord, how would you have me live my life? What should my values be? Some of us need to go back, read books, get mentorships, adjust our mindset so that we make our future children proud of us. Okay, I'm very serious right now. You are dating a broke guy or considering dating a broke guy, please, it's important that you understand the way life works. Now, am I saying that just because you're dating somebody who is young, you shouldn't look out for some values that signify that this person will be successful in life? Not at all. Someone said that as the morning shows the day, so the boy shows the man, something like that. In other words, when somebody is still at a young level of their life, it's very likely that you will begin to see pointers to success. And what are some of these pointers? Is this person responsible? What's their mindset like? Are they hardworking? Are they entrepreneurial? Are they faithful in little? The Bible says that if you're faithful in little, God will give you much. If you're not faithful in little, who will give you your own? So are they faithful in little? How do they manage the resources they have now? Do they get ideas on how to make things bigger? If they are doing ministry, or they are doing a business, or they are industry, they are pursuing a career, what can you see now that makes you say, if I can see this in seed form, it's only a matter of time and this person will be successful? And the truth is, in situations like this, you have to be the one who sees it. Nobody else can see it for you. And I forget telling one of my aunties I wanted to get married shortly after we got engaged, and she was like, "This masters, that's all your mates are doing. You don't want to do it." And I said, "No, I'm going to do it, but it's something we're also considering." Getting married. I remember when news first got out, I was dating my husband. One of my lecturers called me and said, "Wait, I don't understand. You want to be a pastor's wife, as smart as you are. Like you have your whole future ahead of you." And now it looks funny. My husband was so annoyed that day because my husband was waiting outside and the man was advising me from morning till night. But you must be able to have the foresight to see this person for who they really are. You must be able to see their potential and their ability to make the best out of their potential and to work on that potential, even if it's in seed form. It's very, very important that you see this. You must be able to understand what their mindsets are. Are they just after some people are just like, "Well, let my father just hand over his inheritance to me. That's all. He should just hand over to me." That's a very wrong mindset. So even though that person might come from a rich family, you are really dating a broke guy in terms of mindset. So understand what their mindset is, what's their vision for life, what's their vision for their family, how do they handle the little resources they have now, how do they take care of their family, take care of themselves even now, what do they want to do with their lives, and how are they already working on that even right now in seed form. I think that those things are very, very important. Those core values of responsibility, hard work, those core values of capacity building, taking initiative, and contributing to society and problem solving, very, very, very important. If you're already thinking for him now and he's not thinking for himself, the issue is not that he's broke. I'm not saying you can't give ideas, that's good, but if you have to think, if you have to take every single step and think for him and solve all his problems for him, the issue that is broke is just a small issue compared to the issues that are really facing that person and facing that relationship. So those are things to look out for. Another value to look out for is self-esteem. So if somebody keeps comparing himself to his friends or people he knows who are rich, and he keeps looking at himself as less than those people, something is going to happen. When that person has money, they are going to look at you and other people who don't have money as less than. Do you get that? Because some people will say, "Oh, Some people suffer with a broke guy. When the guy finally becomes rich, he begins to abandon them. It's because, see, in his mind, it was always money that was going to determine whether he could lift his head high or not. But if you have someone that has an innate confidence that comes from God and from their worth as a person, then you've most likely hit a jackpot. So if somebody is constantly having self-esteem issues because they are broke, or any small thing you will say, is it because you're making more money than me? See, my dear sister, run. If it's always like, oh, is it because of this your small business that you are doing, you're making money? Just run. If he starts borrowing money from you, that all my friends are wearing this, me, I don't have what to wear, you, let's not be as if your boyfriend is broke. My dear, maybe you are hearing what I'm saying. Also run. So it is beyond just dating a broke guy in terms of how much he has in his bank account, because you can start dating a rich guy today and something will happen and money will grow wings and fly away. Many of us know people who used to be rich and are now poor. But if somebody has the right mindset, it doesn't matter if he loses everything, he will find a way to build it back together again. You also want somebody who, even though they don't have financial resources now, believes in you. That's a gift. Somebody who loves you and believes in you. Somebody who will go out of their way to say, you can do this, I believe in you. I don't have so much, but take for this course. I'll never forget when I used to run an NGO when I was in school, and one time we did an event where we fed all the security men in the school. It was called Have You Eaten at the time. And I'll never forget my husband showing up. He was a friend at that time. Remember, I showed up with an envelope, and it was 1,000 naira inside. I think this was in 2009, if I'm not mistaken. And he said, "Oh, this is a gift from then our ministry was youth ministry." He said, "This is a gift from our ministry just to support the work you are doing." And I remember I was like, the person will go marry this guy. So somebody that believes in you and is already showing that support, I think is something to really look out for, because then you know that you can build with this person. And the truth is, what if, anyway, I'm going to my next point. My what if will make sense now when I do what I'm about to say. I think that we must realize that we have the same brains. Like, it's not as if a guy has more brain for making money than a woman. So you that you're like, my boyfriend is broke, if a guy cannot give me this, if a guy cannot give me that, what about you? What are you doing with your brain? What are you doing with your hands? What are you doing with your wisdom? See, being a fine girl alone is no guarantee that somebody should pay you salary for life. You did nothing to be fine. God just blessed you and you know how to do makeup. It's no guarantee that you are bringing value. Imagine if we heard a guy say, just pay me for being a fine guy. Fine guys, fine girls are a dime a dozen. That does not contribute to how children are going to be raised. It does not contribute to what makes a marriage work. It does not contribute to value. By all means, of course, marry somebody that you are attracted to. And beauty is the air of the beholder. But when it comes down to it, you must be bringing more to the table than your looks. And you must be looking for more at the table than money. The reason why some relationships don't work is the guy knows she's in it for money and he knows she's in it for looks. And so this person doesn't really expect the other person to be faithful, and this person expects that the other person will be faithful because he has used money to buy faithfulness. But he knows that if he doesn't have the money, she's going to run away. That's a transaction, and that's not the way God designed marriage and relationships. So this is not for everybody. It's for people who want to do things according to God's design. So I would also say this, that if you are having this conversation about, oh help, my boyfriend is broke, I need to put the responsibility on you to also grow as well. So growing in terms of mindset and growing in terms of making your own money. There's nothing wrong. You make your own money, your spouse makes his own money, your children are set for life, both of you contributing something to the table. If you also choose that, oh, I don't really want to make plenty money, I want to be a housewife, I want to raise children, that's also your decision, right? It's also your decision. But even as a housewife, you must bring value to the table in terms of who you are and what you are contributing. Do you understand? I think that those things are important. So please, self-development is so important. Self-development. The truth is that your spec has a spec. I'm going to say it again. Your spec has a spec. Some people want to date the best, someone who is on the highest level of their own education, but on the lowest level of their education. You want to date somebody who maybe at least has a master's or has a PhD, but you even barely struggle to make a first degree, or maybe you don't have one. And I'm not judging or saying PhD holders must marry only PhD holders. I'm just explaining to you the way life works. That your spec has a spec. I'm going to say that again. Your spec has a spec. If rich people decide to marry only rich people, maybe rich guys are just like, oh, I'm only going to marry a woman who comes from a rich family or who's made her own money. Hey, the world will not balance. So we have to bring something to the table that is more than money and more than looks. And we must have a mindset that we also as women should develop ourselves. And women are so inspiring. Someone did a video about how the world would be without the inventions of women, and I was so blown away. So maybe this is not even a time for you to be having a relationship conversation. Maybe it's time for you to be asking yourself, what can I do with this life, this brain, these talents, these capacities that God has given to me? All right, so develop yourself. And another thing I would say is, if you are dating a broke guy, this is a time to have those conversations like, okay, if you have 20 million, what will you do? It's one that I will buy Benz and I will enjoy it and post on Instagram, problem. So if you have this amount of money, what will you do with it? And then watching when little money is coming to this person's hands, what are they doing with it? Another thing about dating somebody who may not be as financially buoyant is, if you're with somebody who is not financially buoyant, but the person continues to borrow money from you and doesn't pay back, continues to be dependent on you for their needs, that's a red flag. If you love someone, there's nothing wrong with giving them money, there's nothing wrong with loaning your man money. But when it now becomes a culture where you are paying his rent, you are the one buying food, you are the one buying clothes, be careful. And many times I always say, courtship is the time to love intelligently and marriage is the time to love blindly. Many of the warning signs we see in courtship are what we now call irreconcilable differences in marriage. So most times these signs of irresponsibility will already start showing, where you are having a wedding and you are paying, as a woman, you are paying for everything at the wedding. You are even paying your own bride price. To me, that's a red flag. If you are doing a wedding, there's nothing wrong with both of you contributing. Okay, this is how much I have, this is how much he has, this is how much we've brought together. But if you are doing a wedding and you are the one paying for everything, that is a culture you will most likely carry into marriage, and you'll be tired. So the question is not really about whether or not this person is broke. It's a question of mindset. Do they see themselves as a man who should be a provider as time goes on, or they just see themselves as somebody who is lucky to be with somebody who has money? And that's when things begin to get dangerous. If you're dating somebody who's not financially buoyant, you're dating Mr. Potential, you're dating a broke guy, I would recommend prayer. Because to the outside, this person can look like maybe there's not really much to them. But if God has sent you, and I use that quote very loosely because I have another video, Love versus God said, but if God has sent you to be this person's spouse and your eyes are open, it's not just that love is blinding you. You've looked at his qualities, you believe that he has capacity to be more. If God has sent you to be this person's spouse, there are things you will see about that person that other people may not see. It never occurred to me once that I was making a great sacrifice marrying my husband, because I felt this is the best person I could marry. Even when people did not see it, I just knew this is the best person in terms of character, in terms of potential, in terms of the way he treats me. So he was already successful in my eyes from the very beginning, even though maybe in the eyes of some people he was not successful. So it was not a case of where people had to convince me, oh yeah, please now, why don't you go better? So what has God told you in your private place and the place of prayer? There's nothing wrong with getting sound counsel as well. But in situations like this, if you need too much convincing from an external source, maybe it's time to take a step backward and ask the Lord, what will you have me do? And what step do I need to take going forward, right? So help, I'm dating a broke guy. I think these are some of the things I would like to share with you. So I think that's it. But don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See, you see this phrase, the young shall grow. Hey, it's so true. People grow and people change. But even if you are choosing somebody who might not be rich, make sure that they are rich in character, they are rich in their love for you, they are rich in their vision. So that even if think, even if they don't, if maybe you see this person as somebody that can one day become a billionaire, or since we're in Nigeria, because 1 million is not what it used to be. If you see this person as somebody who can one day become a billionaire, if they don't become a billionaire one day, would you still be happy that you married them? Maybe see this person as somebody that can one day have 200 million. If they don't get that in the time frame you have in your head, would you still be happy and glad that you married them? And these really are the questions to ask yourself. So ask yourself, and let me know in the comments. Please, I'm looking for more topics to share with you guys, so you can let me know in the comments what topics you'd like me to do a video on, and if I like it, I'll do a video on it. Make sure it's worth to subscribe now to my channel, and then send this link to everybody so that your friend doesn't think you're telling it to her simply because you think her boyfriend is broke. All right, I'm praying that you make the best decision possible for your life and destiny. Thank you for watching, and God bless.